Hello everyone, it's Kim and welcome back to my channel and welcome to round 12 of the TBR Cafe, the TBR game I play each month to choose what I'll be reading. So for this round, as it is already halfway through the month of March, I'm just going to be doing 4 rolls plus my 2 challenges for a total of 6 books. So quite easy, quite simple. So let's go ahead and get started and see what I'll be reading this month. Like I said, we are only doing 4 rolls, and plus the 2 challenges will give us 6, well, hopefully just 6 books for March. So we're going to go ahead and get started with roll number 1. We have a 7, and I think I'm going to go to the left and counterclockwise. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're starting off with a book, and our first prompt is poetry. So I'll be choosing some sort of poetry to read during this month, and we have a coffee break. Here is our cup of coffee breaks. I'm gonna shake it up, not looking, and we're gonna go with this one right here. Hopefully it's a good one. Free coffee exchange for a mood read. So I can exchange any book throughout March for a mood read. Works for me. I will take that for sure for this month. For roll number 1, we got poetry, which I'm really excited about, having a really simple read, but also I absolutely love this poet, and it's Robert M. Drake, and I'll be reading his poetry collection called Black Butterfly. I don't know quite if there's a theme for this one or not, but I love it. I also love the bright colors that his poetry collections are bound in. Absolutely stunning artwork, and I'm really excited to dive back into some of his poems. I believe the other one I've read is Beautiful Chaos, and that was quite a long time ago, so I'm ready to dive back into some poetry and read Black Butterfly. And along with that, we had a coffee break, which was, of course, exchange for a mood read, free coffee, which means in the next 2 weeks, if I'm not feeling any of the books in my TBR, I can just go ahead and exchange one for a mood read, and it doesn't count against me or anything like that. So I like this one, because who knows what I'll be in the mood for in the coming weeks. Roll number 2 is a 1. So that is a cup of tea. And the prompt is friend recommendation. I don't know how I'm going to do this one. I could do this a couple different ways. I could ask on Instagram, or I could ask my friend. I am meeting my friend for lunch, so maybe I'll just ask her for a recommendation. Roll number 2 has given us friend rec. For this one, my friend and I were first going to read one book, and then she was like, I think I'm going to DNF this book. So we're like, well, what can I read now? Because obviously you're not going to recommend it to me if you DNF'd it. So we went with Mirror Girls, and I'm so excited to read this book. I loved Kelly McWilliams' first book, Agnes at the End of the World. I thought it was just amazing, and I will link my review for that down below. But this is her most recent release. It came out, I think, last week, maybe the week before, and I'm really excited to read it. So Mirror Girls is my friend rec prompt. Roll number 3 is a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have an ice cream cone. And our prompt is person on the cover. So a book with a person on the cover. Pretty straightforward. Roll number 4 gave us person on the cover, and for this I am going with The Last Legacy by Adrienne Young. This is a companion book to the Fable duology, and of course with the announcement of Saint coming out, I of course had to get this one on to my list. I love this world that Adrienne Young has created, and I love the Fable duology, and I cannot wait to dive into this one as well. Oh, I just love this world, and I'm so excited for not only this one, but the fact that we're getting a book about Saint. Like, if you haven't picked up Fable, I highly recommend it. I never thought I was a person who enjoyed like those like high C kind of adventure stories, but Fable is phenomenal. So go check it out, and I will be reading The Last Legacy for a person on the cover. And our final roll for March, roll number 4, is a 3. 1, 2, 3. Another cup of tea. That's very appropriate for this month. In our prompt is book with a gray cover. Okay. Book with a gray cover. So not black. I mean, pretty sure I have multiple books to choose from, but book with a gray cover is our final prompt. Well, number 4, we got book with a gray cover. Now, I have a lot of like black covers, I have a lot of white covers, but there's very little completely all gray covers, but I do have one that I am borrowing from a friend, and that is The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. And it's literally completely gray. Like, I couldn't have picked a better book for this prompt. So this is The Graveyard Book with illustrations by Dave McKean by Neil Gaiman. I'm excited to read this. It seems very interesting. This will be the second Neil Gaiman book I've read. I feel like Stardust is the only other one that I've read, and I'm really excited about this one. It sounds really interesting. I'm here for it. And a little dark book. I'm here for it. It's usually something that I would save for the autumn, so we'll see how I get along with it in the more like end of winter, springtime feel. So we'll see how I feel. I feel like this is like more of an autumn mood read, but I'm very excited about it, so I think I'll enjoy it no matter what. And then I will get to give this back to my friend so she can read it, because I don't think she has yet. So I kind of borrowed it first. So The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman for book with a gray cover. Alright, so now for our non-fiction pick for March. Let's go with this one. And our book will be London, A Short History. I hope you all are laughing with me that I pulled this for my nonfiction book, but of course you saw it, and it is London, A Short History by A.N. Wilson. That's right, I was just there for 2 weeks, and now I'm going to be reading a short history about it. It's my luck, I'm telling you. Like, I'm fine with this. So I'm really excited to read this one. I do have a longer history book about London in that jar, so I'm really glad that this one is the one that got pulled instead of that one, because this one I'll breeze through. I'm really excited to read it and see what it has to say about London and what it kind of focuses on. It seems to be going through the different like time periods, because there's chapters like Chaucer's London, Victorian London, wartime, and so things like that. So I think it kind of breaks it down by the period in history that London is in at that time. So I'm really excited to read this one for my nonfiction book for March. And next is our Instagram challenge 12 recommendation pick, and we're just going to go with this one. If I can get it open. And we are reading My Sister's Keeper. Alright, and the final book for March is the 12 Recs, 12 Challenges Instagram challenge thing. And I can never remember what the actual challenge is called, but I'll be reading My Sister's Keeper by Jodi Picoult. I'm excited to read this one. This was a recommendation from one of my friends back in May. I borrowed this book from her. I've had this one and one other of Jodi Picoult's books since May last year. And I need to get them back. I need to get all my friends' books read and returned to them. Usually I'm better than this, but this is my rec for that. I put it in the challenge because it was recommended from a friend and I needed to fill a slot. So I went with this one, and I'm excited to read it, and then I think I'll probably watch the movie afterwards just to kind of, you know, do the book to movie adaptation as well. So this is my final book for March. So our final lineup is right here. These 6 books are being added to my TBR for March and for round 12 of the TBR Cafe. I still can't believe that we've played this game 12 times and we're coming up with April being the 1-year anniversary of the TBR Cafe, which is just wild. So I'm still trying to decide for sure what I'll be doing to celebrate that milestone, so we shall see. But I hope you all have enjoyed this round of the TBR Cafe, and leave a comment down below letting me know a book that you have already enjoyed in March or are planning to enjoy in these next couple of weeks. And if you just want to let me know that you were here, drop a coffee cup emoji in the comments as well. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week, rest of your day. Happy reading, and I'll see you next time. Take care, everyone. Bye.